Hey everybody, Mobile Gamers Unite here. Friends, well-wishers, thank you for joining me here today. Grab your coffee and strap in because we are going to be talking about Kuwabara. Who else, right? Yu Yu Hakusho is in full swing. Did you guys really think we were going to make it through Yu Yu Hakusho without talking about Kuwabara? And before you even ask, no, I'm not just doing this because the other characters aren't out yet and this is just what we got. No, we actually need to talk about Kuwabara. He does bring some interesting stuff to this game. Some of you might be surprised to hear that. I think a lot of people are really going to overlook what Kuwabara can bring to this game. So that's what we're going to talk about. But first things first, we need to address what's going on the screen here. This is my alt account, and as you can see here, we do have Yusuke. Alright, that's how much Yu Yu Hakusho loves me. Real talk though, what had happened was, in the past couple weeks we've had a guild event. As a result, there's been more people looking for guilds, and I decided to dust off the old alt account and to log in, just help get guild points up, and really I was just really embarrassed about the fact that, you know, I'm the guild leader and I have a profile that is just sitting there collecting dust, and I don't think I logged into it for like 45 days or something ridiculous. I was about to kick my own profile out of the guild, then I realized it was mine, and I was like, yeah, I should probably just log back in real quick. And hey, I figured there's probably some polls on there, and we got Yu Yu Hakusho going, so it's the best time to throw any polls that you got. I will stand by that. It is the best time to summon right now in Land Grisly as far as I'm concerned, and you guys should all know why. So, as you can see, we have this Return to Glory window here. And this is really cool. This is something that Land Grisly does that most other gachas don't. I didn't even know about this thing until, well, a week ago when I started logging in on my alt account. And pretty much, if you've been gone for more than 30 days, when you start logging on, they will start giving you rewards. And there's lots of tickets and stuff, and just good stuff in here. And I've had a couple people tell me that they leave the game for a little bit, they come back, they get their Return to Glory rewards, and then they always manage to get an SSR. And I've heard that a couple of times. So let me tell you my little summon story here. I got back into the game, I collected all my tickets, I went and started doing some summons. I had a few summons saved over from whenever. And yeah, within like the 4th summon, an SSR came down. And your boy got excited, because I was thinking, oh man, here it is. I got an SSR off of the Yu Yu Hakusho banner. So it's either going to be Yusuke or Kurama, and it ended up being Emilia, and I was just like blown. I was like, what? What am I going to do with this? And don't get me wrong, she's a cool character, but for this account, she really doesn't do that much. So I was kind of down about that. I was like, man, wow, what am I going to do? And then I realized, oh yeah, that's right. This is pretty much a brand new account. There's so much content to clear here. There's pretty much just free Lapis floating around everywhere. And so pretty much I just started playing through the game and keeping up on the guild event and everything like that. And I think it was, what, yesterday? Yeah, yesterday I had like 3 random tickets for, I don't know, I don't even know how I got them. But I threw my pulls and Yusuke came down. All was well in the world. Yu Yu Hakusho loves me. So very happy that I do have Yusuke here on the alt account. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about faction groups. We're going to be talking about Kuwabara. I thought about doing a review, but you know, come on guys, everyone's already done a Yusuke Urameshi review. Everybody pretty much knows how this character works. He is a monster. But Kuwabara, I don't think anybody's doing a video on Kuwabara because they don't see his worth, right? And a lot of that has to do with faction groups too, and what Kuwabara can bring to the table and what he can offer other characters in this game. I told you guys to get your coffee. Alright, So let's get right into the nitty gritty. The reason we're on the alt also is because this account had a lot more gold. So I could actually kind of power up Kuwabara. Maybe we could use him. But I did run out of potions. So here we have our Yusuke Urameshi, almost at 4K, right? 1 day old. And then we have Kuwabara, who is down here. He's only level 52, but I still got him to 3,500 power. So first things first. Here's Kuwabara. Alright, his talent, and this is kind of funny because there is a character, he's a Japanese like biker gang leader or something like that. I don't know the guy's name and I couldn't pronounce it even if I could say it, but he seems to be like a concept for this character. I mean, he actually really looks like Kuwabara. He's got the same hair, you know, all that. And I remember hearing about this in some old it was some sort of anime show where they were just pretty much talking about different animes. They were talking about juvenile delinquents and how there's this whole thing over in Japan with juvenile delinquents. When I was a kid, we were just called the kids. We were all juvenile delinquents, but over there, the culture is a lot more strict, and if you don't do good in school, at least back in the 80s and 90s, you were a delinquent and you were just a waste of human life. At least that's how the government is seen being portrayed in a lot of these animes and films when it comes to, you know, giving a crap about the delinquent kids. They just don't. So yeah, that's what I was going to talk to you guys about. I could not find any information on this. It's like Google buried it. But if anybody out there knows what I'm talking about, fill me in, give us some information. But we have Kuwabara here. Love is justice is this guy's talent. After taking action, if there's a female allied unit or a unit named Yusuke Urameshi. I mean, that's just, it's almost a little bit creepy because while I've been searching for information, like the thing that kept popping up in the Google search engine is, does Yusuke and Kuwabara get together? And I was like, what are they even talking about? And then of course Kuwabara's talent is love is justice, and of course it applies to Yusuke. Pretty much what this should say is Kuwabara wears his bleeding heart on his sleeve, and if there's a female allied unit within 3 blocks, he falls in love with them and gets damage reduction. Same thing applies to Yusuke Urameshi, because he has a brotherly love for him. Regardless though, this is a decent talent. If you're within a few blocks of Yusuke or any female character that Kuwabara can fall in love with, physical damage received is reduced by 15%. Also, the second half, after battle, if hit points is less than 25%, recover 30% hit points. And these numbers change. Mine's only at a 3-star, right? My suggestion, if you're brand new to the game and you just got Kuwabara, because, and this is real. I just talked to somebody today who just started playing, and he pulled both of the characters off the banner, and he has Kuwabara now. If that's the case, I would say put, as far as Kuwabara's equipment goes, I would say put Hard Rock on him so he's better off at healing, because his talent heal, like he's got to go down to 25% health in order to heal. At a low star, this isn't that great. It's not really going to get you through as a tank. But once you star him up, he's going to heal a lot more off of his talent, right? Then you don't need Hard Rock so much. Then you can switch over to Steel. I think Steel is really good because it's giving you damage reduction 10%. And let's see, I mean, right now he's getting 15%. If Yusuke's next to him or some woman, you know, that's 25% damage reduction. That's pretty nice, and he's only at a 3-star, right? So Very important, this guy is going to be a tank, right? Let's just have a look at his abilities real quick. And it's not going to be anything too crazy, right? This guy is kind of like a creeper, right? You're not going to see him come in. Kuwabara is a sleeper. He starts off with Deathmatch. I really don't know why, but hey. The first ability he gets as a Spirit Sword wielder is Health First. This is a 2 skill cost ability. This is a very good tank ability. Alright. Passive, block 1 instance of fatal damage and restore 10% hit points. So right off rip, here is your big Papa Vargas come back from the dead ability. And he just has it right here. Alright, and this can only trigger once per battle, nothing new. But once you activate this skill, it takes all physical damage for allied units within 2 blocks. So it turns into a tank ability. And he gains the healthy effect. Your defense is replaced by 0.6 times your attack. Lasts for 2 turns. Okay, so this is different. This is the first character that actually tanks with an attack stat. We've had characters that use their defensive stat to hurt people and do, damage with. But I think this is the first time we are actually using an attack stat as a defense stat to tank. So that's pretty cool, right? And it should kind of tell you which stat you should build up with this character. Even though he is a tank, you should still build up his attack because he's going to use that attack as his defense. Right, and then he's going to be able to retaliate pretty well off of that too. Because if we look at Kuwabara's stats, I don't think he has any S stats. So he has to make good use of his attack. Moving on, he does get Endure. Okay, when entering battle, defense increased by 7%. Yeah, that does help him out. Actually, when entering battle, units attack and skill increased by 12%. Actually, Deathmatch might not be that bad for him since his defense is scaling from his attack. I'm going to have to look into that, but maybe that's why he does get Deathmatch. I don't know what the math is on that. I really don't know if you're better off with Deathmatch or just this 7% to your defense. Anybody would like to leave me a comment, let me know what you guys have thought up on this. I can kind of see people going with either or. It's probably something you need to test out. And then of course he gets Heavy Shield, because what good tank doesn't, right? We know what this does. When attacked with a melee attack, 25% chance to decrease damage taken by 50%. Considering this guy already has 15% damage reduction without Steel Rune, you put Steel on him, that's 25%. If Heavy Shield procs, you have 75% damage reduction to physical damage. That's pretty damn good, okay? The other thing too is he gets Guardian Infantry, which is cool. If you already have Joshua leveled up and you have Joshua running around with Guardian Infantry, he can bank off of that. He also gets the Vanguard Lancers, so he gets the troops that match his blue uniform, right? On the other side of his tree, we have the Spirit Swordsman. This is Sword Dance. It's the same exact thing that Bernie gets. It's an AoE, and it prevents people from being healed. So, actually, you can do a pretty gnarly build with this and the Converter. If you can put the Converter on Kuwabara, he can do the same thing that Bernie can with the Sword Dance ability. He's not going to get all the crazy fixed damage that Bernie gets, but he can still be pretty offensive with it. And then, of course, he gets Attack Support L for 2 skill cost after taking action, increases damage dealt by 2 friendly units within 2 block, not including this one, by 15%. Immune to attack and intelligence reductions and effects that silence active skills last 1 turn. That can be nifty. That can be useful depending on where you're going and what you're doing. Right? If he's running point on some crazy attack team, you might want to bring this to boost your allies' attacks. He also gets Dimension Slice, right? This is where he busts out that badass energy sword of his and cuts through space and time and everything that we know. No, okay. Attacks an enemy unit dealing 1.3 times damage. Okay. When equipped with melee soldiers, these soldiers will attack too. Very nice. I love it when they throw in the soldier attacks along with the hero attacks and gives them a range. It's pretty cool. Alright, before battle, turns 2 enemy buffs into random debuffs. So this is nice. The thing is, it does have a 5-turn cooldown. But yeah, other than that, that's still pretty nice. You're doing 1.3 times damage. It does have a 2-block range, so you could tag somebody with this. All in all, not a bad ability. So it all depends on what you want to do with it. Personally, me, I'm going to be really running him as a tank. The other troops he gets over here, let's see, he gets the heavy infantry and the heavy cavalry. Cool. I still probably either going to run the Vanguard Lancers or the Guardian Infantry because I'm specifically talking about a tank build for this character. And the reason I'm talking about that is because that's really what his worth is in this. Let's actually look at the factions that he can run with. Here's the Heroes of Time, which I'm very lucky on this alt account to have managed to pull this many limited characters. Like, that still surprises me. Like, on my main account, I had to go through hell to fill out this roster. It came very easily on this alt account, so lucky me. But let's look at what Kuwabara really brings to this team, okay? If you don't have Estelle, and if you don't have, you know, either of these 2 tanker girls, then yeah, I can see where Kuwabara is important here. And if you're one of these people that just started playing the game and you pulled Kurama and you pulled Yusuke, Kanzaki, yeah, if you pulled Kurama and Yusuke and you need a tank for them, bam, here's Kuwabara right here, and Yusuke can faction buff for him. So here's your Yu Yu Hakusho starter pack. You're going to be able to start clearing the game's content with this very easily. Kurama is really good at clearing PvE content. That fixed damage can go a very long way. Alright, so, you know, that's kind of how I see Kuwabara entry level in this game right now. He's useful to Heroes of Time if you don't have any of the other Heroes of Time and you need a tank for them, right? But when you actually start comparing Kuwabara with Kanzaki and with Estelle, that's gonna be a hard pill to swallow right there. That's all I'm gonna say, because these are SSR characters and he is an SR character, right? But if we go over one more faction, we are in the Meteor Strike faction team. This is where it actually gets important for Kuwabara. This is where Kuwabara can actually shine. He can actually bring something to the table here that nobody else here can. If we start looking through these characters, guys, let me know when you see a tank, because the only tank here is Kuwabara, period, right? The closest thing to Kuwabara here is an Angelina, and Angelina's not a tank. She's not going to be able to jump in front of people. She's not going to be able to tank. She's not going to be able to absorb damage. Angelina, to me, is a aggro tank. And what I mean by that is she has an extremely high defense and a lot of hit points. You can put her into the enemy threat zone, and you can pretty much know that she's going to be able to take an attack, and she's going to be able to survive. So that's important because it helps you manipulate your enemy. You know, she's a very good provoker, but she's not actually a tank. And if we go through here, none of these characters are. Enters Kuwabara. So Kuwabara can actually tank for this faction, which is a big deal if you're really trying to run an assassin faction and you need a tank to actually jump in front of Cher and Zarita, right? Kuwabara can do that. And of course, most of the assassins here are girls. Okay, so as long as Kuwabara is running with Zarita, Cher, you know, any of these girls, even Angelina, even Farik, she'd have freaked out. As long as he's within a couple blocks of them, then yeah, Kuwabara falls in love with the first girl that's within 3 blocks of him, and he gets his damage reduction. And that 15%, like I said, that's just because he's only a 3-star. This damage reduction goes a long way, right? Because it's not just the damage reduction he's getting. He gets to come back to life. So he does become a very competent tank for a faction group that really didn't even have a tank up until yesterday. So that is where Kuwabara stands in this game. I think that is the most important thing that he can do, especially for advanced players that have been around. You're still going to be able to find a use for Kuwabara because of the Meteor Strike faction. If we go over to his last faction group, Legion of Glory, he is absolutely useless here, right? Because, I mean, we have Grenier as a faction buffer. He's a tank. We have Ledin as a faction buffer. Ledin's an amazing tank. So you're going to be like, I mean, if you get matched up in a group for some random map and Elwyn or Ledin's there, at least Kuwabara can bank off of their faction group, their faction buff. I mean, that's kind of cool, right? So I'd rather have this than not have it type of deal. But he doesn't really fit in here. He's not really worth that much here. So that's what I'm going to say about Kuwabara. We can look at mine real quick on my alt account. I think Ragnarok's pretty good on him. I went ahead and just went with Steel. I'm going to be trying to bank off of his damage reduction ability. Right? I think Ane's armor is very important for him because when he does trigger that threshold to heal himself by 20% or 30%, whatever, this is going to let him heal a little bit more. You know, an extra 10% goes a long way when you're talking about that. Carbon fiber helm is kind of just whatever I had laying around, so I threw it on him. And the Elven belt, I really didn't have anything better laying around. Okay, truth time, I did, but I already gave it to Yusuke. Like, this is the funny build that I'm playing with Yusuke. I gave Yusuke the Holy Arc because I just wanted to try it. In my opinion, Yusuke is almost kind of like Angelina. He's pretty damn tanky. Like, he can take a hit. And that's kind of how I want to play my Yusuke. I want him to go get into combat, maybe take out a few people before he uses his Psychotic Eruption. Snoop Dogg made a song about that back in the day. I don't think it was Psychotic Eruption though. Anyway, but yeah, that's why I gave this guy what he has, because I was like, yeah, we'll leave the Holy Arc on Yusuke. I don't really have anything better to give him. This is a new account. I'm actually surprised that I even have an accessory this good on this account for anybody. But all in all, it's not bad. Yusuke's at 4K, Kuwabara's a little bit under him. So let's see how these fools actually play together. Let's see, we should be able to find something here. Oh, here we go. We can grind out a few more potions, because obviously I ran out of them, or Kuwabara would be level 60. So who are we going to replace with Kuwabara? Let's see. Everyone's starting out, kind of spread out already. We should put him next to Urameshi, obviously. So let's find this fool. So he is a Lancer. I do have Guardian Infantry with me, though, because, well, they're halfway leveled up because Joshua uses them. And let's see. I really don't like bringing a faction group on Yusuke, or a faction buff on Yusuke. I'll just have Josh do it. Even if he's not getting 15% more damage, he's still getting the stat boost, and that's really all I want. And Kuwabara, with his skills right here, I don't have any single target skills. So Kuwabara is only going to benefit from the stat buff of a fusion power right now anyway. If it was Yusuke that was doing the faction buffing, it wouldn't affect this Kuwabara because he doesn't have any single target abilities. So let's see, we got Joshua to fusion, These guys are good to go. Sakura can hold her own. Rennie, well, Rennie is a girl, so she's going to have to run over here to Kuwabara. And hopefully he can save her. And yeah. So, right off rip, Joshua's going to frantically run over here. And he's going to faction buff everybody. Let's see. Alright, so right off rip, I think I will try to take out these angry looking dogs. All in all, not too bad. 700 attack. I think Yusuke's got it. And Kuwabara, what can you do? Now, if we attack with Kuwabara, he's got 449 attack, he's got 260 defense. If we, I want to be within 2 blocks of Urameshi, too. You know what? 1, 2. How about this? We'll put Rennie over here. Rennie's going to kill this flyer anyway because, well, my Rennie's thick AF. Alright? I've been working on her. But let's see. He is within a lady friend. 2 blocks. Now, what was his defense? It was 260. And now, okay, substitute defense for 60% of your attack. So, I don't think his defense changed all that much. It was 260. Now it's like 269. Like, right? But obviously, I don't have this character's stats built up. Physical damage taken decreased by 15%. So they do have that marker there to show you that there is a lady friend near you or a Yusuke Urameshi, and you're going to be taking 15% less damage. Okay. Sakura, why don't you just go over here and chill? Oh, and of course you're going to target Sakura. It's okay. And Joshua. In fact, you know what we're going to have to do? We're just going to have to hide everybody behind Kuwabara. That way he's always there to tank for them. Oh, look. Here's another lady friend for Kuwabara. Let's go Super Saiyan Yusuke mode. I love the transformation. Great skin, by the way. Great skin. Alright. So this guy's guard is up. Let's see what he does with it. Yeah, that extra 9 defense went a long way. So, what can Kuwabara do? How's his attack looking? Oh, all in all, not too bad. I mean, Kuwabara is the same level as these enemies that we're fighting. You know, this is kind of what I would expect from a half-ass built tank character, right? His guard ability did wear off now. Notice his defense is 260, so it did drop by 9 because it was 269. That doesn't seem like much, but when you actually work on this character, when you actually give him good gear and his attack is more than 449, then his defense is going to scale a lot off of that attack. If you have a Kuwabara with 1,000 attack, which shouldn't be that hard to do, he's automatically going to have 600 defense, which actually sounds pretty good to me. Considering he's going to be one of the only people that can tank for Zarita and Cher, I think it's pretty solid. So this is Kuwabara the Great, and what he brings to Langrisser right now. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He's definitely useful depending on which factions that you're playing. I do not think the guy is useless. I do think he can get some good stats and a good build, and I do think he can actually be a fun little character to play. Obviously, I'm building mine, and I wouldn't be wasting the time building up a character for no reason, especially on this account when I have so many characters to work on already. In fact, let's just top this guy off with the 4 potions that we got. Alright, well, he did go up 1 more level, So, anyway, if you guys have any input or anything to add about Kuwabara, or about you or anything, leave me a comment. They're always open. So everybody have an awesome day, and I wish you all the best of luck pulling your Kuwabara. I'm sure you'll get him. I don't know why. I got a feeling. I'm sure you'll get Kuwabara. So everybody have an awesome day. Peace. Peace and love, actually. Peace and love. Later, everyone.